Jamaica Governor General prayed to British monarchy at praise breakfast. It shocked me at the first experience, and they broadcasted it on the TV. This state acclaimed noble and honorable churchman and sir, a name of privilege he received from his British handlers of subjects, stepped to the podium and lifted his voice to a point of highness. Hello again, people. I am fascinated by this earth life. I come once again trying to see how bright this light that reflects from darkness. I wish to entertain you, if nothing more. I wish more than anything else to show you a wisdom that we do not all know. Make this mission a success. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. He raised his tone to the highest density that would endear God, the God whom he served. He thanked the God for all good graces. For example, the privilege that was given to the sheep leading sheep to oversee this land of 144 square miles. This land that is overseen by sheep leading sheep is actually our land, Jamaica, that foolish historians, including even loved ones like Rastafari, still insist that was not ours from the point of indigeneity. We were indigenous here. They support the rhetoric of the British that lies and says we all came here as slaves. They support an ancient method deliberately used for land piracy, and in their ignorance, they say they support black power, black supremacy, and black liberty. The black man does not need repatriation to anywhere, although that could be necessary in some cases. He needs unity and collaboration, but they cast a different people of different complexion like they do in America and Egypt as the ones that were here before themselves. And then they hint that the British came after these people, but the blacks were not here first. These other people that they put before them will say, we came and saw the black man, but that was always conveniently forgotten, even by the black liberating black man himself. Unfortunately, history does not explain the thousands of years of whiting out and the massive rape orgies across the continents. History will not explain how the Taino Indians were massacred for land piracy, but how it began when the first Taino told the first Columbus rapist henchman to leave his wife alone. The white invaders got mad and drew muskets and swords. If the words from a Taino I met in 2004 is correct, many of their African coexisters would work for the British against them. They were hungry at the thought, even while telling me the Africans were too entrenched in the land and almost unreachable in the bushes to be genocided by the British or Spaniards. These colonizers had only claims to the ones that they brought here by ships. Others they either attacked or tried to use as allies, but not like these people were sitting ducks. It was the white men that were the sitting ducks. These are the unspoken histories. They tell you parts of stories to sell it their way and manipulate. the rhetoric. This is all over the story of Israel in the Bible too. Rape and killing orgies to make sure the people were genocided so that the other person can claim the land without threat of a heir coming in the future, like babe and suckling becoming older and getting ambitious. They impaled babies to make sure that never happened, and the excuse was that God said to do it or else. And when you ask the question as why would God say such a thing, they explain that someone else related to the landowner but not the owner himself looked at someone else's balls carelessly exposed, and so the owner would be punished for such a serious crime. For the executioner got to choose to punish one of the villain's relative instead of the accused himself. This judgment is fair because God says so, and no human understanding or conscience must ever challenge it. It is an issue of balls. So expect big baloney. Okay? The punishment for embarrassing the careless balls owner would have to be death to the entire nation, and God's words could not be questioned. If it seemed wrong to you, then you blaspheme by using your own understanding and listening to your God given conscience that is your highest and most intimate connection to God. Oh God, the very words almost left me out of breath. There's too much baloney here, but I won't give an opinion. Let me just say some truths. In the United States, some pale looking American Indians have said that they were better off not exposing what their original complexion was because of the horrors of racism. When the word nigger was first mentioned in the United States, it was directed at an American Indian. Okay? Take that historical fact and try to make some sense there. I am not tired of racist white folks. I am tired of self sabotaging people, both white and black. The truth is that the very concept of race is stupid. This conversation is only necessary because of the paradoxes surrounding the issue. Besides, I am not worried about racism. I am worried about malcultivation of any human herd. Humans that lack understanding worry about superficial symptoms. I do not want to be that guy. Any prejudicial stereotype is simply subject. It is like not wearing a mask to the store during the pandemic. Was that ever a problem before? Every condition is for a cultivated reason. Blame the next white person you see on the streets and know that you blame it on the victim. Not saying he is right to be whenever he is racist. Some of us tend to not see separation of issues easily. We are wrong to do wrong when we do wrong. The pandemic example should explain what I mean exactly. So please study it and think about this. Do you blame the cop for arresting you for not wearing a mask? Symptoms. I keep hammering it in that black folks, mostly from West Africa and related to Ghanaians of today, were here coming and going before Columbus saw this place. The Taino Indians were here as well, and they sometimes had face-offs, but they coexisted. It was not like they had all-out war either. The Tainos felt that the Africans were not nice to them. Unfortunately, we do not know the African side of the story because the indigenous Africans think they came from Africa in slavery and know nothing about their own damned history. And they that came as slaves, the minority, claim that their history is the history of the black folks that they came and saw. The exact same thing happens in America. There are black people in America that remember their origins almost back to creation, but a few other black folks that came on ship are still trying to do the same as those in Jamaica. Even Rastafari will do that a lot. If you see your history as coming on a ship, it's fine, for it is your truth. Many came as slaves, but why say because the other person was black, he came with you, and that the British was right? You feel like his truth cannot be any different. Man, you are black, but you are doing the exact same thing that a racist white person does, and you don't even see it. Better you do your own truth, leave the other person's truth, or go jump in a ditch. Not because he is black like you means that he has to be whatever you and the white counterpart says he is. Many of these black people know their histories better than you know your slave ship story. So be fair. This is my honest opinion. I am showing you things, some of which you cannot see without a bird's eye view of the earth realities. A football match has to be played out by trained individuals. Those that don't know how to play the game, or those that are not even fit enough, help more by staying on the sidelines and allowing the big boys to play the game. I have no enemies, but I admire all the wonderful wizards, good ones and bad ones. I am sorry I have to be honest in that crude way, but I do admire every genius. They are scintillating awesome. The things they can do like gods. Don't take the game of life too seriously. Life is too serious to take seriously. Remember that we can create realities. Your gods created you as their own divine reality. The divine fixtures remain. We reap what we sow. So don't worry too much. If you do not have wide encompassing vision, you will not attain with encompassing you will not attain wide encompassing vision, and you will not see the bigger picture. I want you to get this. If you do not have wide encompassing vision slash knowledge, you will not attain wide encompassing vision slash understanding, and you will not see the bigger picture. If you are inside the whale's belly, you cannot see the whale. You have to be on the outer pyramid to see the pyramid. The first time I saw that man pray to the Queen of England, I saw all the components of this divisive God spell and how one thing led to another. The entire picture came to me, so I started to look for all those formulas and tenets and looking at the post. Where is this corner post? Where is the end post? And I found everyone in their places. So therefore, I know that this is the reality. The Governor General was praying to the Queen of England. It is because I understand what was happening from the beginning. I understand the conversations and the necessary cultivations from the perspective of the monarch. I understand the universal way of spelling and mindset cultivation. Had I not been able to take the eagle's view, I could not be able to see that those patches of asphalt we barely see from land was one single road from the bottom of the pyramid to the top. I implore you to study and improve yourself. For at first, I wondered how out of 2 to 3 million people, no one saw something that was so obvious that neither the person who performed the deed can deny. Do I sound like I speak without authority for fear of contradiction or anything? It is not even contradictable. No one would try, but how you did not see. They will also wish that you do not listen to me. It is so ingenious that they can literally do it to your face all day, every day. It's freaking genius. And look, this does not mean that I don't care. I did this whole video to point it out to you, but this won't stop me from being impressed with genius. Here is how the spell works. I always tell you about the intrusive demon possessing spell. It goes inside to the back door, but it is crafted with such skill that it is not only subconscious, it is a kind of conscious subconscious weave. Remember that the sheeple are subject. This is a word you also agree upon, for he poses it to you all day so that you agree by the repetitions. You agree to be the subject of the state, or at least agree that you are the subject. The prey is subject. How do you know the prey is subject? When the prey bows and surrenders before the predator, it is symbolically expressing its surrender. On your knees, surrender. The Governor General is there to emphasize the presence of the God Monarch to the subjects, to give them a vessel by which to keep them bowing and subjecting as prey to predator. They do this under the guise of a diversion called Christianity. The Governor General too is Christian. This is why the Adventist people will stick their tongues out to the other churches and say, no, 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 we got the Governor General. Through the disguise of Christianity, he pays his homage to the British monarch who owns the people, the sheeple, and is Lord our God to them. The Governor General raises his voice at the praise breakfast. The praise breakfast, Prey, is pray. What is the praise breakfast? Do I say the praise breakfast in the form of a joke or something like that? Just irony? I say the praise breakfast because it is the praise breakfast. Could they tell you that it's the praise breakfast? They tell you that it is a prayer breakfast because you look at the word prayer and you are subliminally told that it should mean something different. You don't interpret it as what it is. And this is the only way they can tell you to your face, by calling a praise breakfast a prayer breakfast. Okay? When the subject, the sheep, are praised in the masses, cry out that too much blood was being shed in the population, they, by the guise of Christianity, afforded a praise breakfast. At the praise breakfast, the subjects believe they are talking to the God they believe in when they go to church. The British monarch knows that at this day the subject will come and bow before the throne to reconfirm their surrender, and the Governor General represent the monarch at the throne. They called it a prayer breakfast. It is a praise breakfast to reconfirm the contract of agreement with death. It is a praise breakfast to reconfirm the contract of agreement with death, the contract of why the praise, bow, subject, on your knees, surrender, pray. Therefore, because they complain about being sacrificed, they are called to recommit to their agreement with sacrifice. As Rastafari Bongo Nigosai, my teacher, told me, they recommit to their agreement with death. So, when the Governor General speaks about the land he is privileged to oversee, it is actually the land that belongs to Jamaican black folks that they are now agreeing to only being the tenants upon. They agree to be tenants upon the land that they own, and they do not see this. Someone tried to contradict me. The Jamaican people agreed to be tenants on a land that they own. And this also takes place at the ritual where the Governor General reconfirm it as Crown land. They are allowed to believe they have ownership while being openly told that the land is Crown land. Crown land, meaning it belongs to the British Crown. Just by the fact that they are given a virtual reality of independence but remain slaves, they think they also own the land. They don't even own the rights to decide to build schools, and they pay taxes to Britain, which may be seen as rental for staying on the land. The British monarch includes the value of Jamaica and all its assets to the wealth of the monarch, but it does not end there. Each birth certificate for every child born represents more wealth to Britain. This is the ultimate sacrifice when your children are given a paper on their day of incarnation. They are given a piece of paper on their day of incarnation, and it is seen as a birth at some seaport, with the bill laden suggesting delivery, receival, and ownership. You agree to all these things. If you have to give up this ownership of your children at birth, something that was delivered, a bill laden was brought at birth, and it was given to the receiver. If you have to give up this ownership of your children at birth, you agree that it is a birth. And then you bring them to church, which is representing the throne. For God is at the throne of God, to christen them to the sacrificial pool. Can you find anything more to sacrifice? The throne of God is the monarch's throne, which the Governor General represent, and which must be represented in small places for the God to be omnipresent. He has to be represented everywhere. So you are given this superficial image of a church where he is, and you bow and worship him there with something in your mind that tells you that you're worshiping a sky god instead, as you bow as a pray with an image telling you that the word pray is not pray but communication. Can you find anything more to sacrifice? For you own nothing, not even your soul. Besides, by the fact that you don't own your soul, you own nothing. Therefore, you are subject, you are owned. You are the lamb to the slaughter that was slain. Your blood is the blood of the Son of Man that you agreed to wash the streets with, for sacrifice to whom? Is there an Emmanuel blood drinking God or something? Is there an Emmanuel blood drinking God or something that you serve? I won't give this last opinion today. I simply showed you a ritual. Take it, leave it, or contradict it. I really don't care. I am just awed by genius. Peace out.